Yo, what's good, gangsters? This is the first video where I'm actually doing the boot camp. This is lesson one, and we're going to be going over what makes a range valid and what really is OTE. For the first ever lesson, we're going to start a little bit simple. A little bit simple. Let me pop a Zen for this thing, yeah. Let me pop one. Pop one. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. We chilling. Okay, let's get into it. So really easy. Let's make my face low-key smaller as well. So before we even go into the video, let's go over the example today for bias reasons, right? So I was bearish. I told everyone in my Discord this, right? Why? Well, number one, we're bearish. So we're only going to be looking at, well, number one, we're bearish. Okay. Number one, we was previously bearish. Okay, we had these huge dumps. And as you can see, each dump is doing what? It's reacting back into ranges, whether we're using them as inducement, like this one here. As you can see, this range gets used as inducement for the 7-9, or if we're genuinely just playing off of those intermediate ranges, okay? Like sometimes the ranges aren't going to be fully filled, like this. You see this range, it doesn't get fully filled, you know? These are still valid ranges, and that's how we have this last one here. Now, what makes this one valid, right? Usually, the main way to depict ranges for being valid, right, on any time frame, so it can be higher time frame, lower time frame, is because we need to have the bias and the draw aligned with the range and the direction of the range. So what's our draw for this range? What do we have? We have multiple draws. Number one, ES and NQ didn't sweep this low. Okay, meaning that it's still a valid target, meaning that if we're coming back up, it's most likely just going to be a retracement for that range entry, just like we did 9:30 open. What do? We tap off the 705, we landed the 1 hour order block, also aligned with the 4 hour fair value gap, and I believe we also had an SMT, if I'm not wrong. So everything was aligned perfectly for that. Okay, simple. So that's like the main bit. What even is OTE aligned with anything at all, right? If we don't have aligned bias, if we don't have a range that has previously swept something, if we don't have a range that is, not taken or not had a valid draw beforehand, then that range isn't going to be good to take off. But before we even go into the lessons of the OTE, let's kind of slow it down. Before we even go into going in depth and how to get a high win rate and how to increase your RR, we need to understand the basic things, which is what really makes these ranges valid. So I can go over more examples right now. For example, why wouldn't a range like against the SMT be valid, right? I've kind of just told you right now. Why wouldn't this range be valid for longs? It's a 1 minute range, continuation. Why wouldn't this range be valid? Okay, well, there's multiple reasons. Once again, we're trading against the draw, okay, and we're also trading with no draw at all. Why would you expect price to continue, even though we had valid PD rays within the range, even though we previously swept things out, okay? We had everything on our, everything that looks good to be happening in a range, yet it didn't play. Well, number one, we have a huge SMT against us, I believe, okay? Number two, we tapped into the 705 with a higher range. Always be wary of the higher time from OT. It's going to direct all the lower time from OTs. That's really important, okay? And obviously, number three, we've already touched that draw. Like this was technically a draw, this high right here, okay? That's why every single range before that was trading up to it. Need proof? Look at this. Every single range pretty much was playing up to it. Even if you had an entry off this PD right here, range plays off of the lower time frame too, again and again and again. Range keeps playing. Then we get that used as inducement. What do? I think we play to the 6-2, or probably we edge the 6-2 in that scenario, and then we continue playing to the range. As you can see, range plays. As you can see, range plays. As you can see, then we use this inducement and range plays again. As you can see, it's almost like a pattern with ranges. We're going to have the range play, then we have inducement, then we have the range play, and then we have inducement. And I'll be going over inducement in depth and how you can use it to get more accuracy and more win rates and higher win rate on your ranges as well. Now, let's say in this scenario right here, as you can see, this range might be playing off the 7-9 or the 8-8-2. As you can see, no drawdown, okay? Now, why is this playing? I haven't even looked at ES, but there's a small chance you could have an SMT, for example. Let's check. Do we have an SMT? The low is at 20:45. What time frame is this? 50 minute. 22:45. So we don't have an SMT. So it's not something I'd be confidently entering on. If I saw this, I'd expect price to come and react from this range because this range is valid. What makes this range valid? Number one, bias. Okay, we still have the draws down here, okay? Number two, we swept out. Number three, We don't have an SMT in this scenario. I thought we did. Okay, that's my apologies. So I'll delete that. And number 4, everything is aligned in that scenario. All your ranges need to be going off the bias, okay? That's the biggest thing, and acquiring that bias is all basic. You don't have to go in depth and use quarterly theory and higher time from SMTs and anything that's extremely in depth to find a good bias. The best way for me to find biases is to go on the daily chart and just see what we're doing right now. Look, what do we have in the daily? Daily PD array, okay? Obvious. Let me just delete all these drawings. Daily PD array. Obviously, what are we going to do? We're bearish. We fill the PD array. We dump. Therefore, this range is valid. Simple. Okay? How do we distinguish where it's going to reverse within that range? We find the previous range, which on the hourly. We find the high. Why is this the high? Because it swept up before. Okay? We align the 705 with a PD array. The 6.2 had a PD array as well. We reacted from the 6.2. Gave you an entry down with a range, and then we came back up. Use this as a EL, higher time frame EL for the entry. 705 plays, and then we look for our entry. Really simple. So that's like the first thing ever. What really is OTE, and how do we distinguish whether, you know, the range is going to be valid or invalid? I spoke a little bit fast. I can also do this quite slow. I have like a free Discord where we do group calls and group seminars, so you guys can join that too. Peace out, guys.